Let's see, we got, all right, cheese, haven't used that. Dix, used that. Penelope Cruz, that's on the back burner. Walnuts. This is hard. There's nothing that people seem to love more than tricks that really don't require a lot of work on your part, whether it's because of the disability that you have or some other ailment that you really don't want to discuss. People just like learning these hot tricks that don't require any work. So here's one of those. Here's one of those hot tricks that you could use to impress your friends and family that don't require a lot, too much work. It does require a little bit of work, but not too much. So you take out the jokers from the deck here because I don't know if you know this, but the jokers are useless in the deck. They're disgusting cards you don't need. But you turn to two spectators and you say, "Sir," if that's your preferred pronoun. We'll give you a couple cards here, sir. Again, I'm sorry if that's not your pronoun, but we'll give you some cards here. And do me a favor, mix these packets up just to make everything extra fair, as the kids like to say in the street these days. So they make these piles extra shuffled, and then you tell them to take a card out from each pile. So let's say this spectator takes out the Eight of Spades, and this one takes out the King of Hearts. You go, that's tremendous here. So why don't we do this? We'll make this extra hard here. Why don't you guys switch piles here? So now you have his card in your pile, and he has your card in your pile, and they mix it up. And now the reason for this is that now nobody knows where your cards are. So you don't know where your card is, and your card's not even in your own pile, sir. Do you understand how fair this is? Do you understand how stupidly fair this is? So we'll mix both piles up here together with one of these real cuts. real real cuts. So now you turn to the spectator and you say, you know what, I'm gonna try to pick up your cards using my psychic vibrations here. So let me just go through here and see if I could pick up your cards here with these psychic vibrations. So I'm willing to bet, sir, that your card is one of these cards right over here. That's my bet. That's my hard bet here. I'm willing to bet that this is. We'll start with you, sir. So do me a favor. I'm gonna hover my hand over these cards, and I want you to just scream in your head, "Stop!" Much like all my attempts at female love, I want you to yell "Stop!" when I'm hovering over your card. All right, sir. I want you to do that. So when I'm yelling, when I'm rubbing my near your, you yell "Stop." Oh, I need for you to say it louder. Stop! I felt it. Right here, sir. That's your card for sure. 100%. That's your. Am I right? Yes, of course I'm right. And you, sir, you don't even have to. I don't even have to look in the deck. Your card. Just try to project it on me, like insecurities. Oh, King of Hearts. That's right. I got it. King of Hearts. That's your card, sir. And now you found this card physically, and then you found his card emotionally. So it's a good trick. It's definitely a good trick. And yeah. So after the bout with crippling depression, the reason this trick is called the PCR card trick is because that stands for pre-civil rights. Pre-civil rights card trick here. And the reason for that is because you are segregating the deck. You're segregating the deck. Your segregation laws. So you're segregating the deck here between the reds and the blacks. So that's your setup here. You need the red cards here, and you need the black cards here. And that's your hot setup. Once you have this setup, you're ready to go. So you put the jokers in there, and then you have this 1-2 psychic trick that you could use as kind of like a precursor to an out of this world trick, and make sure that they go home thinking they met a psychic. So here's the hot method. You do the false shuffle when you take the cards out of the box. You don't even need to do a false shuffle. You could just do a false cut if you really don't want to bother with the skill. And if you don't want to bother with the skill, then fuck you. But you could just grab the bottom stock here, square it up, drop it, and then grab the top stock and put it on top, and you have an easy false cut that even your special little brother can do. So that's a cool one you could do. That's not hard. So once you get the deck, you now turn this to yourself and you say, oh, you know what? We don't need the jokers here. So you take out the jokers, and you're spreading to the separation here. Now, if you were smart, you could just put the jokers to separate the cards here so that you could spread them and to yourself again and say, oh, I'm just going to take out the jokers here. And once you establish that, you get a break between the piles here. You get a break between the piles here. So what's going to happen is you're going to need to turn this over to re-get a break separating the piles. So the way you do this is really the only move of the entire trick. So you're going to get a break here, and you're going to put your thumb around the back, which is going to revolve the deck. But look, you have a nice little step here. You have a nice little step here. And when you re-grip the deck, you're going to stick your pinky in that step, and that's gonna separate the red cards here from the blacks. So the pre-civil rights trick here. That's what I'm talking about. So now you're ready. Now you're ready for this. So you could hand some of these cards to the spectator here to your left, and you could you spread to the break again, pretending not to care about the amount of cards they get, but really they're getting exactly 26 cards. The number doesn't matter, but the fact is that they're getting all of one color of cards. And then you turn to this spectator and say, you know what? I'll give you these cards, sir. So now they mix up both piles, but ultimately you have this person select a card from this pile, which is always going to be a red card. You have this person select a card from that pile, which is always going to be a black card. And then now you could either have them trade cards or trade piles to make this supposedly harder on everyone here. But really, you're setting up the method here. So now this guy is putting his black card amongst the reds, much like, and this guy is putting the reds among the blacks, much like. So now you're pretty much ready to go here. You have their card, which is the only red card among the blacks. You have their card, which is the only black card among the reds, and you're ready to reveal it. So you combine both piles, and then you could do one more false cut here, obviously not disturbing the cards, and you're ready to go. You're gonna spread through here, and you're gonna turn to your appropriate spectator. And for the first one, what you're gonna do is here's a hot one. You grab their card, so you outjog their card, and another card. It really doesn't matter. And as you're doing this and looking through the deck, you're peeking at the other spectator's card here, which is a King of Hearts. You're going to need to remember this for a little while. So that might be the other hard part of this trick, is remembering that card. So, you know, if you have some sort of memory deficiency, then maybe this trick might not be for you. But for those of you that do have the ability here, you're just going to spread through. You're going to peek at that card. You're going to remember it as you take these other two cards out. And of course, their card is the opposite color card. So you could very well easily distinguish the difference between this black card and this red card here, right? Okay, I hope so. So now you could tell them, oh, I'm going to put my hands over these cards. And when my hand is over your card, I want you to yell stop in your mind. Yell stop in your mind, you know, much like, you know, whatever you can add about your insecurities because of all the females that I've told you stop throughout the years. So you can add whatever jokes you want. But ultimately, they're going to yell stop in their heads, and you go, good, I heard you loud and clear, sir. Four of spades. And now, for this spectator, the deck is far away. So you could say, you know what? You could do this. You could even do this Richard Osserlin ploy here, where you say, would it be impressive if I could go through that deck and, you know, take out the card you're thinking of? And they go, yeah, that'd be impressive. How about if I could just name your card? And then you name the card. You go, oh, King of Hearts. And, you know, they don't know how to react from that. They really don't. So So that's pretty much the trick. I'm gonna drop a hot variation of this on Patreon. So if you want to drop some hot pig cake monies on that, I would appreciate that. But this is there's a hot variation going up here on the same premise. But it's a good one. It's very underrated, utilized, very underutilized principle here in magic that I think you should use at your next bar mitzvah to get all of that money from the people that go to bar mitzvahs. So you enjoy that trick, you practice it well, even though it doesn't require a lot of practice, and you make sure to stay in school and take all of the vitamins.
When I see you again, 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 when I see you again.